Hi, my name is Caitlin Lacey, and I actually did my company paper on the Walt Disney Studio. Now, in 1923, when Walt Disney first opened the studio, he did not open it as the Walt Disney Studio. It was first titled the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio. Later, in 1926, he decided to finally change the name. That's when they changed it to the Walt Disney Studio. In 1928 is when Walt first released his iconic classic Steamboat Willie, which featured his character Mickey Mouse. And in 1937, that's when Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs actually debuted right before Christmas. Now, the Disney brothers decided to branch off and start exploring different business ventures. So they decided to open up a theme park in California. In 1955 is when Disneyland was actually officially opened, and the brothers decided that they actually needed more room to expand the park and add more exhibits. So in 1965, they seeked out land in Florida, and that's when they started building Disney World. However, due to his untimely death from lung cancer, Walt Disney was never able to see Disney World. He died in 1966. Now, the park officially opened in October of 1971, and later his brother Roy Disney actually passed away from stomach cancer in 1971. So at the end of the year is when he passed away. However, even though the brothers both died, the Disney company continued to grow and expand. Um, they've come a long way since they first debuted Snow White. They've added so many memorable characters and had brought branding to them. Now, they've also acquired the rights to many other companies, acquiring all the characters. Disney actually now owns ABC, ESPN, Pixar, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilms, Touchstone Pictures, Lifetime, A&E, the History Channel, Core Publishing, 20th Century Fox, and Hollywood Records. Now, with them owning all these different media companies, they are able to add these new characters to their parks, and they have also started a streaming service called Disney Plus, where they have been able to release original Star Wars series and original content straight to Disney Plus. They also have been releasing movies that would come out straight to Disney Plus. Now that does require a better membership, but it gives you access to movies that are in the theaters straight from your home. Now, Disney does have quite a few competitors because they are a multi-divisional organization. Some of their competitors would be Universal Studios and DreamWorks. They are actually partners who are both in the media industry, and they have resorts and theme parks also around the same areas that Disney does. So because of this, many families do go there, and they do appeal to an older age group than Disney does because of the movies that they have produced and everything. So families do often find themselves going there opposed to Disney. Now, along with that, Sony is also considered a competitor of Disney because even though Disney has the rights to Marvel Studios and all the Avengers, Sony actually owns the rights to Spider-Man. And so without Sony's sign off, Disney cannot put Spider-Man in any of their movies or content or even at their parks. And now another big competitor for Disney is the Warner Brothers Studios, because they also have very well-known cartoons, and many of the older generation watch their cartoons along with Disney cartoons. And then they also have some cruise lines established, and they are partnered with Six Flags. So because of that, Six Flags is able to have DC Comics, which is Batman and Superman, and Wonder Woman at their parks, which also makes Six Flags a major competitor too. Now, Disney does do a lot of charitable work and very good for their community. They participate with St. Jude's Research Hospital, where they both donate money, and they also fulfill children's dreams of them being able to come to Disney World or go to Disneyland or go on cruises and help children and families who seem to have not a lot of hope left enjoy what hope they can. They also have a Disney Conservation Fund, which helps funding of endangered species and wildlife. Now, in Orlando, Disney does use renewable electricity, which means that they have the renewable electricity powering their entire park. And then they also have begun reducing the carbon footprint that they use by using old cooking oil for fuel for their trains and their boats, which reducing the carbon footprint does help the environment. As for cultural diversity, when Disney first started, they did focus on the American culture. However, they have began to add new cultures into their movies, showing boys and girls that no matter what their beliefs or their cultures or their religion, everybody is magical in their own way, and it does show people who don't know about the culture different values and teaches everybody equality. Now, like I did say before, Disney is a multi-divisional organization. So that means that they are striving because they have so many different business ventures, and that seems to be what's working for them in between their media outlets, their streaming services, their hotels and resort stays, their theme parks, their stores, and also their cruises. And then they also have the Disney on Ice, which is like a mini ice skating show for fans of Disney. Now, they are also big on branding, and it is a huge part of the company's success. Like I said before, everybody does know the character Mickey Mouse, and he's one of the most iconic and recognizable characters. However, there are plenty of other iconic characters that carry the Disney name. And then they are big on sending out promotions to their parks, like 4 days, 5 days, 4 night stays, and everything. And the more days you stay, the cheaper the tickets. And so they do try to help families who do come and want to enjoy a little bit of their magic. Now, threats for Disney, I'm sure Disney did not ever put this down, but COVID-19 actually did end up being a big threat for them, and it did impact the companies very widely because they did have to close their parks, which caused a huge loss in revenue for them. Now, they ended up being able to open back up on July 11th. However, they didn't recover from the loss that they experienced from April through July. Now, the competitors also are a continuous threat, and it does cause Disney to stay innovative, trying to face the competitors. And with the future being up in the air with COVID and competitors and everything, that does throw a loop in there for Disney. But because they have different business outlets, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing. I do think that they'll continue to strive through it all. Now, my conclusion is I think that the Disney company will continue serving families entertainment and characters and fun and magic for many years to come. As a mother myself, I'm very excited to be able to take my daughters to the park and watch them grow up loving Disney like I did. Um, we do plan on doing so. Right now, my youngest is a little too young to do it, but the adventure to the parks is a big part of our plan. Thank you. Have a great night.